5 high-performing ideas inspired by mom business starting home. Start today. The coffee had gone cold again. Another morning balancing the noise of the house and the quiet question she kept avoiding. Can I really build something of my own? She wasn't chasing millions, just freedom. The kind that fits between nap times and school pickups. The kind that doesn't apologize for existing. For years she had tucked that dream away, convinced that ambition and motherhood couldn't share the same space. But something was shifting. A restlessness. A curiosity she couldn't ignore anymore. She wasn't looking for perfection. She was looking for proof that it was possible. Part of her still felt guilty for wanting more, as if ambition had to disappear when motherhood began, as if starting something meant failing at everything else. But the idea didn't come from a business book. It came from the mess on her kitchen table, from the things she was already doing, the skills she didn't realize she had. She started noticing patterns, women who built income streams from their living rooms, mothers who turned hobbies into businesses, not overnight, not loudly, but steadily. And she wondered, what if the path wasn't about doing something extraordinary? What if it was about doing something real? So she began exploring, not with a master plan, just with curiosity and a laptop during quiet hours. The first idea she stumbled on was virtual assistants. It sounded simple, almost too simple, helping businesses with emails, scheduling, admin tasks, things she'd been doing for free her whole life. She learned that small businesses and entrepreneurs were constantly searching for reliable support. People who could manage their inboxes, organize their calendars, handle customer inquiries. It didn't require a degree, just organization, communication, and consistency. Skills she already had. She almost dismissed it, until she saw someone mention they were earning $2,000 a month working 10 hours a week, from home, on their own schedule. That stopped her, not because of the money, because of the math, because it felt possible. She smiled, not because it was easy, but because it was finally something she could see herself doing. Virtual assistants became her first real consideration, but she kept searching. She wanted to see what else was out there, what else matched her life, her rhythm, her strengths. Then came the doubt, the kind that whispers louder than failure. Who would hire you? You haven't worked in years. You don't have a portfolio. But she remembered something a friend once told her. You don't need to be the best, you just need to be helpful. She kept going. The second idea felt like it was made for her. Freelance writing. Not novels or journalism, just helping businesses sound clear. Writing blog posts, emails, website copy. She'd always been good with words. She used to write in journals, craft thoughtful messages, help friends edit resumes. She just never thought of it as a skill someone would pay for. According to recent studies, small home-based businesses led by women are growing 40% faster than other segments. Proof that clarity often beats capital. Freelance writing didn't require a fancy setup, just a laptop, Wi-Fi, and the ability to communicate ideas clearly. Platforms like Upwork and Fiverr connected writers with clients daily. She learned that businesses needed content constantly. Blog posts to attract customers, product descriptions to sell, social media captions to engage. The demand was real, and the flexibility was unmatched. She could write during nap time, after bedtime, or in those early morning hours when the house was still. What would you have done in her place? Would you have trusted that your voice mattered, or would the fear have been louder? She sat with that question, and slowly the answer became clear. Her workspace was still her kitchen counter, but it no longer felt like chaos. It felt like possibility. She moved to the third idea, selling digital products, templates, planners, printables, things people downloaded and used instantly. This one fascinated her because of the leverage. Create once, sell forever. No inventory, no shipping, just value packaged and delivered digitally. She saw mothers selling budget planners, meal prep templates, daily routine trackers. Simple tools that solved small problems for busy people. Platforms like Etsy and Gumroad made it easy to set up shop. And tools like Canva meant she didn't need to be a designer to create something beautiful and functional. The beauty of digital products was the scalability. She could sell 1 copy or 1,000. The effort remained the same. She almost gave up, until one message changed everything. A stranger on a mom forum shared how she'd made $500 in a month selling printable cleaning checklists. Not because they were revolutionary, because they were useful. That story stayed with her. It reminded her that success didn't have to be loud, it just had to be helpful. She exhaled. Maybe success just wasn't about being perfect. Maybe it was about being present. The fourth idea surprised her. Online tutoring or teaching. She hadn't thought of herself as a teacher, but then she realized she taught her kids every single day. Math, reading, patience, curiosity. She already knew how to explain things simply, how to break down concepts, how to encourage without overwhelming. Platforms like VIP Kid, OutSchool, and even Zoom made it possible to teach English, art, music, life skills, whatever she knew well. Parents everywhere were searching for quality tutors, flexible schedules, patient instruction, real human connection in a digital world. She didn't need a teaching degree for many of these opportunities, just expertise, empathy, and the ability to connect. Sometimes growth doesn't look like progress, it looks like staying curious, staying open, staying willing. She felt something shift, not certainty but readiness. The fifth idea felt different, what more personal. Social media management for small businesses. She spent hours scrolling anyway. She understood what made content engaging, what made people stop, read, comment. She just hadn't thought of it as a marketable skill. But small businesses, local shops, coaches, creatives, struggled to maintain consistent online presence. They needed someone to post regularly, engage with followers, schedule content. She could do that from her phone. During school drop-off lines and doctors' waiting rooms, it wasn't about being an influencer. It was about being reliable, creative, and consistent, helping businesses stay visible while they focused on what they did best. She learned that many social media managers charged between $500 to $2,000 per client per month, and most managed 3 to 5 clients at a time. The numbers were starting to make sense, not in a fantasy way, in a real, tangible, this could actually work way. But she also knew something else. These ideas weren't magic formulas. They were starting points, frameworks, possibilities that required work, learning, and patience. There would be late nights, rejections, moments of doubt, clients who didn't pay on time, projects that didn't go as planned. But there would also be deposits, reviews, messages from people saying thank you, moments where she'd realized she wasn't just earning, she was building. What helped her most wasn't just the ideas themselves. It was the mindset shift, the realization that she didn't need permission to start small. She tested a few tools before finding what truly worked. A planner that kept her organized, Canva Pro that elevated her designs, an online course that taught her the foundations of freelancing. Honestly, it changed everything. Not because the tools did the work for her, but because they removed the friction. They made starting feel less overwhelming. This isn't a promotion, just something that made her path a little lighter. If you're curious, the link is below. Use what resonates. Ignore what doesn't. Because at the end of the day, the business idea mattered less than the decision to begin. She didn't need the perfect niche. She needed the courage to try, to fail small, to learn, to adjust, to try again. The transformation wasn't dramatic. It was gradual, incremental, human. 1 client became 2, 2 became 5, 5 became a rhythm, a routine, a small but real income stream that fit into her life instead of demanding she abandon it. Her kids still came first, but now there was space for her too, not in competition, in harmony. She stopped apologizing for her ambition, stopped shrinking to make others comfortable, stopped waiting for someone to tell her she was ready. She just started. And in starting, she discovered something unexpected. The business wasn't just about the money. It was about reclaiming a part of herself she thought she'd lost. It was about showing her children, especially her daughters, that motherhood didn't mean martyrdom. That building something of your own wasn't selfish. It was necessary. When she poured her coffee the next morning, it was still hot, because this time she wasn't rushing. She was building, slowly, imperfectly, authentically. The kitchen counter was still her workspace. The noise was still there. But the question had changed. It wasn't, "Can I do this?" anymore. It was, "What do I want to build next?" And that shift, that quiet, powerful shift, made all the difference. These 5 ideas weren't the only paths. They were just the ones that resonated with her story, with her season, with her life. Maybe one of them speaks to you. Maybe none of them do. Maybe you're thinking of something entirely different, something that only makes sense in your world with your skills, in your circumstances. That's the beauty of this moment. You don't have to copy someone else's journey. You just have to trust that yours matters too. So wherever you are, whether you're still in the wondering phase or already taking steps, know this: you're not behind, you're not too late, you're exactly where you need to be. The ideas exist, the tools are accessible, the market is there. What's left is the decision. The first small, scared, brave step forward. And maybe that step doesn't look like launching a business today. Maybe it looks like research, or a conversation, or simply saying out loud, "I want to try." That's enough. That's everything. Tell us what part of this story resonated with you most and where you're watching from. Your journey might just inspire the next one, because somewhere another mother is sitting with cold coffee and a quiet question. And your story, your beginning, might be exactly what she needs to hear. Tell us which country or city you're watching from. See you in the next video. Bye.